This is all I've been doing. Birdman hand rubbing all day. Man, it's been an eventful last couple of days, and personally, like I wanna focus this video on the MacBook Pro and why y'all shouldn't get it. I picked me up one, but y'all definitely shouldn't get one. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So I was surprised this. They came out with a couple chips. They talking about the M1 Pro, M1 Max. Now, I'm not, the supercomputer nerd as it pertains to, specs and all this stuff. And I'm just a really big enthusiast of this stuff. So I'm gonna give you guys some real vanilla basic. I'm gonna give you guys some really vanilla basic takes on this subject matter. There's definitely a lot more knowledgeable people if you're looking for some in-depth analysis on this here. I'm just about to get y'all the real little bit as what I think you guys should do as far as buying one of these things. Now, like I said, I wouldn't copy me one. All right, I'm coming from a Mac Mini M1. This thing is a beast. Honestly, it's a real beast. And if I'm being completely honest, this actually is all I need. The M1 upgrades from last year when they did it, it's been phenomenal. I don't know what they're doing up in there. I don't know how like this little machine is able to render out some crazy footage in such a short amount of time. It's amazing. Now, and I told myself before the event, like, probably months ago, that if they did announce a 32 gigabyte model for RAM, I was gonna cop, and they did, and that's what I did. I copped. Now, for me, I'm looking at this as really, for the most part, future proofing myself. I typically do not upgrade my computers like this. This actually was like I was getting the M1 as a trial period kind of thing. Which is why I did get the very base model version. So I'm really thankful that they did come out with some newer chips. Now, what I'm scared of is for the people that do want to jump right now, which is kind of what I'm warning you about, why you shouldn't buy it, is one, jumping right now from an M1 to an M1 Pro or Max. They very well could add more RAM storage to the next model of M1s. Now, I think this is what we're going to be looking at from going forward. We're going to be getting the M1, standard M1. You're going to get the M1 Pro, M1 Max, and they're just going to kind of upgrade according to those. So you'll have the M1 probably next year whenever they decide to release some new products for an M1 model. You'll get an updated M1 or whatever. So I just think that next year there's a good chance that the M1s can be upgraded and they'll also include more RAM. And that's, like I said, for myself, I kind of put myself in that position where I just think that the M1 is totally fine for me. All I needed was more RAM, and I could have waited, but you know how that goes. Can't wait. So, but for you guys, that's what I'm saying. Definitely hold out on this. You're talking about starting off $2,000, and then for me, when I was watching the event, I'm watching the event. They're discussing the M1 Pro and a lot of this, I believe, and they're talking about the 10 core model. Now I jumped in in the middle of it or something like that, so I don't know if they actually specified between the 8 and the 10 in the beginning, but I feel like they were talking about the 10 core M1 Pro the entire time. So then when you get to the website for $2,000 is an 8 core M1. Now, in all actuality, reality of the situation, is it going to be a big difference? Probably. For the real hardcore user who's going to be putting these things to his paces, you might be able to see a little bit of a difference. But for me, I still should be able to see an increase over my M1, seeing that it's got 6 cores of performance cores and 2 efficiency cores and all that stuff. Again, I don't want to get too deep into that. I'm just looking at it from just the standpoint, okay, if the regular M1 had 4 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, you already knew what that was all about. These newer ones are going to be more power hungry, a little bit less battery life because it's a laptop, obviously, but that is what it is because you can just plug it in. So for me, that's why I'm going ahead and copping it. Just for the more power, you're getting more on the GPU side, a little bit more processing power. It makes all the sense for myself. Another reason why I upgraded was the ports. Actually, that's probably the number one. The number one reason why I upgraded was the ports. Now they brought back the ports, man. Come on now. They brought back the ports, bruh. We got a headphone jack. We got an SD card reader. We got, what is it? I think 3 USB-C ports, right? An HDMI port, a MagSafe port. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Like, what you mean? We got the ports back, man. We got the ports back. And not only that, I'm looking forward to some real testing of this from other creators, but they say that the headphone jack included on the MacBook Pro is capable of powering some high impedance headphones, meaning some more higher end headphones, something like Sennheisers or was it Bayer Dynamics? Some of those high driving headphones that will give you better quality for audio production and great listening sessions if you want to listen to some more higher quality music. So I'm looking forward to people really breaking that down and trying to see what exactly is going on in this. Now, for the regular user, like I said, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think even the M1. I think even the M1 for the majority of America, majority of Apple users, the M1 might be overkill. You can get away with an iPad Pro experience and really get the iPad Pro keyboard experience. Trust me, you guys. Like, I know a lot of people, you'll find yourself searching the net, searching YouTube, and you'll find a lot of Android users, a lot of Windows users who've probably went and tried the iPad keyboard combo, and they decided that this was not working for them. Now, for myself, I used it. I have it. I'm in the process of getting rid of it because I want to get this MacBook, but it's a perfect little whoop, man. Like I don't know what more you can really ask for. There's a lot of power in that iPad Pro, especially we're talking about. I only have the 2020 version. The M1, I can imagine, is just insane. If you just get yourself an iPad Pro keyboard, and if you want to go into the M1 route, you can. But I think even the 2020 iPad was amazing in terms of computing power. That's really all that a lot of people need. And I think that's kind of where I think, people should kind of look towards now. If you're in the Mac, if you're an Apple person, you're looking into the Mac ecosystem and all that stuff, that's exactly where I think most people should live. Couple little caveats before we get away from this, before we take off, actually. If you are in the market for getting, if whatever I'm saying in this video just can't, discourage you from getting it, keep this in mind when you are buying it. I would definitely suggest you upgrade that charger from the 67 watt to the 96 watt, because from what I'm hearing is you cannot use the fast charging capabilities you can't get the fast charging capabilities from the 67 watt that's included in the box. You got to upgrade to that 96 in order to get the fast charging capabilities. Now, you can fast charge through MagSafe and USB-C. If you have the correct wattage, if you're plugging it in through another power source, you might be able to achieve that. But out the box, you will not be able to use fast charging with the 67 watt brick. Upgrade that $20 because it's going to cost you another $80 if you want to go ahead and buy it after the fact. I'm probably going to end up doing that. I don't know. I don't know. I made a mistake. I didn't know. I should have went ahead and did it. But after searching the forums and looking around, I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So keep that in mind when you are looking to buy. Just go ahead and spend that $20 to get that extra feature. I'm talking about what I think it was 50% in 30 minutes for a laptop. That's kind of crazy. So that's really all I got, man. All in all, these devices, these laptops are amazing. I don't want to say too much because, like I said, this is a little bit over my head in terms of just information, because there's a lot more stuff that goes into this. I'm just kind of giving you guys the surface level stuff. Just some small things to consider if you're looking to buy. Just kind of keep that in mind that Apple does have 3 tiers of M1 chips, and they have different devices with M1 chips, and there are just a ton of, options now for you if you're in the Apple or Mac ecosystem. So there's a whole bunch of different upgrades with the MacBook Pro. I just decided to kind of highlight these things and give you guys a little bit of an insight on where I think you guys should lie if you're gonna go ahead and pick one up. So that's all I got in this video. It's your man Wayne Train. Hit me up in the comments, like, subscribe, share, do it up for your boy. I would really appreciate that. And I really hope you guys have a great day. Take it easy.